Hey everyone, Tony George, Week 11 NFL opening line report. I'm going to share my initial thoughts, guts, reactions, raw, candid, unfiltered. We'll leave the F-bombs out of it. I'd like to interject a bunch of them towards the Chicago Bears, who we had a top play on this weekend. And what a tumultuous Sunday it was for me. We've been torn up on Saturday and gave it back on Sunday. End up with a 4-4 weekend and had a top pick on the Bears. Wow. 14-point fourth quarter lead. Detroit hadn't overcome a 14-point deficit to win a game since 1993. Wow. And you switch gears and you go to the Green Bay Packers-Dallas game. Dallas, entering the fourth quarter, was 195-0 straight up when they had fourth quarter lead of 14 or more. And then the Buffalo Bills. Just talking about teams that grabbed defeat from the jaws of victory. Chicago dominated that game for 3 quarters and then just gave pick six, missed PAT, giving up huge third down plays. I mean, they couldn't stop Fields. But it's just one of those Sundays. We got stung. I come on these videos and tell you like it is, win, lose, or draw. There's no sense in hiding from the truth. I went on Twitter and I owned it. But nonetheless, I'm still in a bad mood. Very bad mood. NFL can be unpredictable at times. Look what happened on Monday night. Again, there's Philadelphia in a primetime game at night, laying double digits. They barely got by Houston doing it. And they got beat last night. What I tell you last week on the line report, they haven't played anybody. It's a divisional game. Washington's playing good defense. Heineke's better than Wentz. Went through all that with you last week. Just the initial thoughts. I avoided the game because I avoid games with double digits. And I will not avoid them if I like the underdog. But I couldn't pull the trigger on Washington either. But nonetheless, some very interesting results, and we're getting down to crunch time. So let's get to these. Now I'm going to give you my initial thoughts, reactions. Leave your comments in the comments section. We got to filter out the porn sites, the competing websites, giving you the link to their Super Lock of the Millennium page, the F-bombs, the haters, all the nasty stuff that gets political ads, all kinds of different things, but all check the back end, put in the relevant comments, and we can banter back and forth over the next couple of days. But I've seen some of these lines. I can tell you one thing. I put out a Twitter this morning. If you follow me on Twitter, at TGeorgeSports, you want to start looking at these weather forecasts, especially up in the Northeast. The Buffalo game, we'll talk about it in a minute. But, they're going to affect some totals. Keep your eye on them. Let's go ahead and pull these up. I've seen some. I haven't seen all of them. Let's start out with a Thursday night game at Lambeau Field. Green Bay laying 3. Total 41.5 against Tennessee. Vrabel's doing a hell of a coaching job. He does less with more than any coach in the NFL. Better coach than Green Bay's coach, I can tell you that. Dallas just gave the game away. Total's up to 42. I want to check the weather on that. But bear in mind that Tennessee's 7-2 against the spread on unders this year. Green Bay 6-4 on unders. I can only lead under in that game. That's for sure. Rams, what a disaster. Rams, Cup's gone. New Orleans laying 3. You want to lay 3.5 with New Orleans? Andy Dalton is a POS. You're better off starting Taysom Hill if you don't want to put Winston in there. At quarterback, Dalton's just horrible. The downside of a career, he's on the bottom of his career. And the Rams, I don't know what the status of the quarterback situation is there. Offensively, they can't do anything. New Orleans gives it up in chunks. The quarterback situation, and Cup got her. Better defense, Rams plus 3.5. Is that still sitting at 3.5, or is that moved off? money line, sprinkle plus 140. I'm not laying points with the Saints. Jets at New England. Oh, here's a big one. Opened up at 3, now 3.5. Now it's 3. Yeah. There's the value gone in that one. Total 38.5. Check the weather in this one. 22-17 game. I think I had a 7-unit play on New England last time they played them about 2-3 weeks ago. They're both off a bye. This is a huge game. Jets can lead the division at 7. Who'd have thunk? And Wilson couldn't have played any worse in the last game. They still only lost by 5. What did he throw? 3 picks? He was New England's best quarterback. I'm not sold on New England, but give me the Jets in a teaser. Maybe the over, depending on the weather. See where that's sitting now. 38.5, 3. You don't want to count the Jets. They're 6-3 against the spread, 6-3 straight up. They have a propensity to play under, so if this weather's bad, it might be a knockdown, drag out, 13-17 ball game, something like that. Chicago at Atlanta. I'd give the middle finger to the Bears, but this is family entertainment. Utter collapse. Scoring all kinds of points, can't win games. They're 1-4 on the road. Atlanta -3, total 50.5. I'd take the over. Carolina. Oh, I haven't seen this line. Plus 12.5 against Baltimore on the road, total 43.5. Baker Mayfield's going to start. There's human turnover machine. I don't want anything to do with it. I'm not laying 12.5 with Baltimore. They have trouble closing out games. Carolina off a big win. Added time to prep. I think Baltimore had a bye, but yeah. That's a game I don't want anything to do with. Really, you might want, if you want to tease. I don't know. Yeah. Pass. Washington. Nice win last night on Monday Night Football. They're playing good ball. Rivera's a good coach. 5-5. 3-2 on the road. Houston. Catching 3.5 at home. Total 40.5. Let's see if that's moved much. 40. 3.5. Let's look at something here. Yeah, they're 20th in running the ball because Houston. You always want to see the team when you're trying to handicap a Houston game. They're 32nd against the run. Washington's putting up 112 yards a game. Robinson's going to have a big day. You might want to check him out. I had him. He was over 30.5 yards on Monday Night Football. He had almost 90. Kid can run the ball. Control the clock. Under 40. It's my lane. Cleveland plus 8.5 at Buffalo. This totals down to 43.5 from 47. They're supposed to get 2 to 3 feet of snow up there over the weekend. Bitter cold. Check the wind. Play the under now, which brings points into play with Cleveland and Buffalo. Yeah, I'm getting tired. I got into a Twitter argument. Not an argument, but just a back and forth. Everybody tell me how great Josh Allen is. You know, and they like to throw it at me. You know, there's a lot of people. I got a lot of haters, you know, because I'm a Chiefs fan. Allen's so much better than Mahomes. Really? How many AFC championship rings does Josh Allen have? Mahomes has got 2. How many AFC championship games has Allen been to? Mahomes has been to 4. How many division titles does Allen have? Mahomes has got what? 5? In a row? How many Super Bowls wins he got? You know, he's making bad decisions. He is one of the worst quarterbacks, if not the worst quarterback, when it comes to throwing red zone interceptions. And I believe this is a week, if I'm not mistaken, they get Deshaun Watson back. I could be wrong. I need to check that. I can only take the points. Philadelphia laying 6.5 at the Colts. How bad are the Raiders? My God. Jeff Saturday comes in there fresh off an ESPN set. 6 days later, as he's coaching a friggin' NFL game. Never coached one in his life. Never, coached a high school team to a 4-7 record, and they beat the Raiders. The offensive line played good, and they ran the football. And I took Raiders first half line in that, thinking that Ellinger was going to play because he's terrible. They put Ryan in after I found that out, after I released the pick, and I might have rethought that. But Eagles off a loss. I think Eagles in a teaser, get them down to -0.5. Lock it in now. Total in that's 44.5, which is about right. The Detroit Lions playing the New York Giants. Dayball for Coach of the Year. Back-to-back roadies, back-to-back win for the Lions. I don't think so. Give me the Giants, total 45.5. Seems a little high. But then again, it's Detroit's defense. Las Vegas Raiders at Denver. What are you going to do with the Raiders, man? You got Derek Carr crying in press conferences, after losses. They can't get out of their own way. They're 0-5 on the road. Denver, I saw a stat. If Denver would scored 18 points in every game this year, they'd be 8-1. $41.5 is the total. You can't take Las Vegas. This will be up to 3 by the weekend. If you like Denver, bet them now. How can you bank? How? Man, Josh McDaniels got a vote of confidence from Mark Davis this week. He's not going anywhere. You're stuck with him. You guys can't get out of your own frickin' way. Let's look at a few numbers here. Dead last in scoring, 14 points a game. Can't run it. Ranked 25th around. We're talking about Denver. Throwing for 223. You take a look at this game, Denver defense, because they are the only reason Denver's even halfway respectable. Number 2 overall in total yards. Number 1 against the pass. Number 13 against the run. Number 1 in scoring, 16.6. Problem is, your offense only averages 14.6. That's a recipe for disaster. And then you take a look at Las Vegas' defense, and bear in mind, they're the road team. They rank 28th in total yards allowed. Denver ranks 2nd. They rank 26th against the pass. Denver ranks 1st against the pass. 21st against the run, Denver ranks 13th. 28th in points allowed, Denver ranks 1st. Give me Denver. Strange things happen in the NFL, but give me Denver. If you like Las Vegas, put them in a teaser. Going to be low scoring, get them 8.5. Probably being points into play, and you can put them right with Philadelphia. There you go. Booyah. Cincinnati -4.5 at Pittsburgh, +4.5. Total 41.5. Give me the Steelers. Dallas is laying points at Minnesota. 1.5, total 47.5. What does Minnesota have to do? Minnesota closes 2 things about 2 surprise teams this year, and I'll tell you what it is. Minnesota and the New York Giants, and even to a certain degree, the Tennessee Titans. Throw the Kansas City and and the Buffalo game out, but especially Minnesota and the Giants, they close games. They close them out. They find ways to win. Dallas finds ways to F it up. Give me Minnesota as a home dog there and put them in a teaser. Sunday night game, my beloved Kansas City Chiefs against the Chargers, laying 6.5, total 50. Take the over and take Kansas City. Put them in a teaser too. The Chargers they've already played them once. Let's go through this real quick since it's my beloved Chiefs. Chiefs are 3-5 against the spread. So, and despite a 5-4 record, the Chargers are 6-3 against the spread. But boy, they're beat up. They're beat up. They're beat up, man. I'm telling you. They lost by 3 at Kansas City September 15th. Fully healthy. If you're missing Allen and Williams, Bosa, I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster might not play. And if that wasn't targeting, I don't know what the hell was for Kansas City. Looks too easy to take them. Put Kansas City in a teaser, be safe. They'll win that game. Total might come into play there too. Depending. Oh, primetime game. At night, SoFi. Opened up at 49.5. Now it's up to 50. Let me think about that one. I don't know. You could make a case for the Chargers covering the number. I don't think they're going to win. Arizona, this is in Mexico City. San Francisco -8. Arizona, total 43.5. Arizona's going to get killed. They're missing 4. They're going to have 4 offensive linemen out. You don't know if Murray's going to play with a bad hammy. Your offense is Colt McCoy to DeAndre Hopkins, maybe Connors every now and then. Not going to fly against San Francisco's defense here. San Francisco, in my opinion, as beat up as Arizona is, especially on the offensive line against that defensive line, makes this a total mismatch. Lay it. Those are my initial thoughts, guys, for Week 11 in the NFL. Leave your comments below. DocSports.com. Free $60. Link in the description below. Pardon me. We'll hook you up with... a little choked up. Thinking about how much ground I got to make up this Sunday. There's potentially 3 or 4 games there that are well worth 4 units. Just in the back of my mind with spinning while I'm talking to you. But nonetheless, free $60, link in the description below. Get over to Docs, never been a member. We'll park $60 in your account. And you can use that on the website wherever you like. College basketball is underway, NBA, NHL. NFL college football winding down for the regular season. A couple games left, and then we're right into bowl season. Exciting time of year. Get over there. We got a ton of free information over there. 95% of the stuff on the website's free. Digest it. World Cup soccer here? Yeah. We got articles on that, free picks on that. Anything you need, we got. Be there or be square.